2026 marks the 12th year of Elite Dangerous' lifespan, and I think it's well worth asking and answering the question, is the game worth playing in 2026? Now, whether you are a lapsed player coming back to the game, or whether you are a new player that has stumbled upon Elite and is curious about what this massive space sandbox has to offer, we're going to do our best to answer that question today. To start with, let's take a look at what exactly is Elite Dangerous. Elite Dangerous is a space sim that also includes ground driving elements, ground combat elements, that tasks you with going into the galaxy, which is a recreation of our own Milky Way galaxy with 400 billion star systems, and simply making your way there. There is no main narrative story through line for you. You are not the chosen one or the hero of the universe. You are simply a lone commander trying to make your way in a sometimes overwhelmingly hostile galaxy. Now, the game is notorious for not being very newbie friendly and for not having the greatest tutorials in the world, but don't let that stop you. The community is fantastic, and the game is really not as complicated as some people would have you believe. There is a little bit of gatekeeping going on there. Now, what is there to do in this game? Well, since you have 400 billion plus star systems that are largely procedurally generated, including the settlements on the planet surfaces and the space stations, there is a lot to do. You can become an explorer, searching the vast expanses of space for new and cool things to see, gathering up that data and bringing it home to sell. You can also couple that with exo-biology, landing on planets and searching for new and interesting life. You can become a miner, heading into the asteroid rings of gas giants, finding the valuable raw materials there, scooping them up, and taking them back for profit. You can become a trader, running vast quantities of cargo through the trade lanes of human space and building up your fortune that way. You can become a pirate, preying upon those that have things that you want, or you can choose to enforce the laws of the spaceways and become a bounty hunter, getting into combat to stop those pirates. And beyond that, you can even do a little bit of politicking, signing up with one of the major superpowers in the game, and using your trade might or your combat prowess to fulfill missions and expand their power in a galactic-sized game of Risk. There is a little something for everybody in Elite Dangerous, right down to getting boots on the ground and attacking settlements with your rifle in hand. So, that being said, is the game worth playing in 2026? Well, the TLDR version of that, I would say, is an emphatic yes. Now, there have been a few rocky years with the game in the past 4 or 5 years, but in 2025, Frontier Developments, the developer of the game, has placed a renewed emphasis on Elite Dangerous, providing us several new ships, including the Type 11 Prospector, which completely changed the mining game, the Mandalay, the Corsair, and the Panther Clipper Mark II, the largest cargo capacity ship in the game by far, and closing off the year with the Caspian Explorer, a ship with a jump range unlike any other in the game. So they have touched every aspect of the game in terms of giving us a new ship, or in some cases, a new bespoke mechanic that will affect the way we play those parts of the game. They have also gone in and rebalanced ground combat, making major changes to the way that weapons function, to the way that weapon swapping functions, to the way that the AI behaves. The AI used to be fairly dumb. Now it will rush you if its shields are up. It will take cover. It will remember where you are, flank, and use grenades to try to get you out of cover. Now this is in support of another thing that I'd like to touch on, and that is upcoming events. Coming soon is going to be the new operations, which are promised to be a series of missions that will chain together and have an overarching objective with unique rewards that will allow us to see some things that we have not seen or done before. The biggest one that they teased was the ability to board megaships and fight through the interior. However, they have promised that these missions will embrace all of the different gameplay aspects of Elite Dangerous, so it is not just going to be a combat-focused thing. Now, Frontier has also been very good about driving the overarching narrative. Yes, there is one in Elite Dangerous. It can be a little bland to follow sometimes if you don't like reading the news articles, but it is there with a new type of life that was discovered and the ensuing fight between the superpowers over who has access to it. To that end, they have kept up community goals, which are a series of goals that the community takes place in to contribute to and earn rewards and various different perks, including unique modules for our ships and things like that. And they have started a 49 system power play war between the various major superpowers. That is still actually ongoing, even though they took a winter break. We're still in the midst of that and just kind of on pause right now. In addition to that, they are also partnering with the community. There is a massive event getting ready to kick off called Distant Worlds 3. Now, Distant Worlds is a expedition run by players that sees a large number of commanders and game players get together and head out on a expedition to the other side of the galaxy, which, bear in mind, is the actual one-to-one Milky Way galaxy, so it is quite the undertaking in game. I personally did Distant Worlds 2, so I have a good idea of what is involved in it, and Frontier has said that they're going to be closely involved with Distant Worlds 3. So it's something to look forward to there. You will see a ton of things on it that most people that play the game probably never see because they probably never go far enough into the black and out into interstellar space to see it. But that is another way that Frontier is kind of supporting the game. The other thing that I find very promising is that they have come up, and this is going to be a little controversial with some people, they have come up with a way to monetize the game more in the past year. Now, you might be asking about why is that a good thing? Because it allows them to keep developing the game. They are selling new ships into early access for real money, or you can wait a couple months and buy it with in-game credits. Now, there is the FOMO of I didn't get the ship right away, but the selling of the new ships, the selling of the skins, does allow them to bring in a steady revenue stream, which they can pour back into the game. And they have been testing the limits, and they have gotten slapped back a couple times, which I also think is a very good thing. They tried to pull a stunt with a special type of space station last year that you could only buy it for real credits and only buy it once, and the backlash was severe enough that they did back off on that, and you can actually build the thing in-game if you have the time and patience. So, a lot of people bemoan the pay-to-win slide. I do not think that is what it is. I think it is Frontier looking for ways to better monetize the game. And they have shown that when they put a foot wrong and the community erupts at them, they are willing to step back and listen to reason instead of pushing ahead wrong-headedly, in my opinion, with something that would hurt the game. So, all that being said, what are the end arguments for playing Elite Dangerous? Well, you have a game that is truly massive to begin with. You have a developer that is actively engaged in continuing to add content and add things for us to do, that is partnering with the community on community-run events, and we have every hope that the roadmap for 2026 will look like 2025's roadmap, and there will be a steady stream of content coming down the line, new ships, new things to do, just as they did in the last year. So I feel like there is plenty of good reasons to jump in, especially if you love space sims, if you love space combat. It is a game unlike any other. I may be a little biased, but that is my opinion. So yes, I do believe firmly that you should play Elite Dangerous in 2026. It runs beautifully on modern hardware, and I do not think you will be disappointed. Commanders, let me know what you think in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, found it helpful, like and subscribe. If you're here to the end, watch time is key on YouTube, so thank you for helping me feed the algorithm. 07 Commanders, I'm Dimebot. I will see you next time.